Okay, let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu sa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang saranang gacchami dhammang saranang gacchami sanghang saranang gacchami tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Idang me silang Magapala nyanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta Sa. Okay, let us do some guided equanimity before we start the Dhamma talk. Now we relax here. We let go of the noting on the vipassana objects. And keep the mind in the present, calm and peaceful. Let go of all the thinking, planning, memories. And keep the body relaxed. Relax from top of the head, slowly down the forehead, face and neck, shoulders and arms, chest area, stomach area, down to the back and spine, to the hips and buttocks, to the thighs, to the knees, to the calves, ankles, sole, toes. So relax the body, keep the mind alert and present. I am the owner of my own karma. I am the owner of my own karma. Karma is my closest relative. Karma is my closest relative. Whatever wholesome actions, speech, or thoughts they have done in the past, then it will ripen in the present or in the future. And whatever unwholesome action, speech, or thoughts that I've done in the past, then it will give rise to unhappiness in the present or in the future. I'm the owner of my own karma. I am subjected to the law of karma. I am too subjected to the law of samsara. I go through aging, sickness, death, and rebirth. May I able to accept the truth. May I able to accept the truth, accept the reality without fear, without anxiety, without bias, but with understanding, wisdom, and calmness. Now let us expand. Let us expand, reaching out the equanimity to all the beings around here. Monks or nuns, fellow yogis, Dharma workers, helpers, volunteers, donors, sponsors, to all the guardian devas of this center, to all other devas residing in this neighborhood, to all the petas, and to all the animals, big, small, seen or unseen. All of us here, subjected to the law of karma. We are the owners of our own karma. Karma is our closest relative. Whatever wholesome deeds they have done in the past, then it will give rise to happiness in the present or in future. And whatever unwholesome deeds we have done in the past, then it will give rise to unhappiness in the present or in the future. We are subjected to the law of karma. We all too are subjected to the law of samsara. We go through old age, sickness, illness, death, and rebirth. May I able to accept the truth, accept the reality without fear, without bias, without anxiety, but with understanding, wisdom, and calmness. Now let us expand to all the beings in this country. All the beings in this country, may they be humans or non-humans, may they be devas or petas, may they be animals, big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. All beings in this country, without exception, they are subjected to the law of karma. They are the owners of their own karma. Karma is their closest relative. Whatever wholesome deeds they have done in the past, then it will give rise to happiness in the present or future. Whatever unwholesome deeds they have done in the past, then it will bear the fruit of unhappiness in the present or future. They are all subjected to the law of karma. They too are subjected to the law of samsara, towards old age, sickness, death, and rebirth. May I able to accept the truth with wisdom and understanding, and not with fear, not with bias, and without anxiety. Now let us reach out to all the beings in this world, humans or non-humans, whether they are our loved ones near or far away, to those people whom we do not know wherever they are, to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us, to all the guardian devas of the Buddha Sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the petas, and to all the animals, big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. All beings in this world, they are subjected to the law of karma. They are the owners of their own karma. Karma is their closest relative. Whatever wholesome deeds they have done in the past, then it will give rise to happiness in the present or future. Whatever unwholesome deeds they have done in the past, then it will give rise to unhappiness in the present or in the future. They are subjected to the law of karma. They too subjected to the law of samsara, to aging, to sickness, to death, and rebirth. May I able to accept the truth. May I able to accept the reality without fear, without anxiety, without bias, but with understanding, with wisdom, and calmness. Now let us expand. Let us expand this equanimity to all beings without exception. All beings in this universe or universes. All beings from the highest plane of existence down to the lowest plane of existence. All beings in all the world systems. All beings without exception. They are the owners of their own karma. They are the owners of their own karma. They are subjected to the law of karma. Whatever wholesome deeds they have done in the past, that will give rise to happiness in the present or future. Whatever unwholesome deeds they have done in the past, then it will give rise to unhappiness in the present or future. All beings are subjected to this law of karma. They too are subjected to the law of samsara, going through aging or sickness, death, and rebirth. May I able to accept the truth. May I able to accept the reality without fear, without anxiety, without bias, but with understanding, with wisdom, and with calmness. We are able to accept the truth without fear, without anxiety, but with wisdom, with understanding, and with calmness. And slowly let go of the reflection. We bring the mind back again to the present. Feel the body here. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Then we can slowly open our eyes. Tuesday, we were talking about the insights. And some of the insight, as I said, that I try to relate where the equanimity is involved. As I said in the beginning of the practice, we don't see much of the equanimity yet. But equanimity is already doing its job. In the sense that when the equanimity is there, they keep the mind in balance. They keep the mind in the optimum level so that it doesn't go too much or too little of something. Everything is just enough for the purpose of noting. So all the factors of enlightenment, yeah, they go into the optimum state, so that the mind can able to notice all the objects in the body or the mind, mental or physical processes. So it's already happening while you are noting, even right from the first insight. Here, when we look at this insight, when we look at insight, I mean, theoretically, when we are teaching, as I said, when we're teaching about this insight, it looks like the insight got only 16 stages only. Looks like lah. But when we are doing the meditation, it's like it's not like a step. Like suddenly you know that suddenly you enter into insight already. No, it doesn't come like that now. Insight is a very gradual development. All the insight is all like gradually developed like that. You do not know where if you first time you pass through those stages and so on, you cannot, a lot of times you may not able to equate where you are, which insight you are in. Yeah. Maybe if you have some theory, maybe you can agak-agak only lah, maybe there lah, maybe. But what the most important thing is actually not which insight you are in. What most important thing is that is the mind can still able to note the objects or not. If the mind can still able to note the objects clearly in a balanced manner, then it's already you are in vipassana, you are in insight already. Even with the able to notice a simple rise and fall of the abdomen, it's already insight already. If you're able to notice big pain, small pain here, pain there, pain, already insight already. Yeah. As simple as all these type of things. So don't think that insight is just special knowledge. It gives rise to these names because that sometimes as you develop certain perception on the object of the mind and body processes, they become a little bit more clearer to the yogis. And that clarity, they name it this insight. We're not going to go through every insight now, because here, as I said, the the thing that what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to relate where the equanimity and where the insight is connected. Yeah. It's not like we are trying to go through everything, but I'm giving a little bit here and there, a bit of understanding here and there. But of course, if you want to know more, then you can read, especially from the Mahasi, from Mahasi Sayadaw. He gave a number of understanding of, in general, in principle, what the yogi may notice around that level, that in particular insight. General, it give you a general, but each and every one of us, as I said, all of us very different in the way that how we see things. Uh, uh, the day I mentioned that, if you this better. Now, the day I mentioned, the day I mentioned until about 4A, 4B there. Yeah. I said around 4A, 4B, where the knowledge of arising and passing away. Beginning of the knowledge of arising and passing away, and I said that between third and fourth around there, yogis have a lot of all this type of called vipassana upakilesa. That sometimes the yogi may get attached, may get crave on the lights, on the joy, on the happiness or pleasant feelings. Sometimes they get very resolute in their practice, very strong resolution. And sometimes with that type of resolution that they have, due to the nature of the yogi, due to the inclination of the yogi, sometimes with this type of people, they have see a lot of various faith object of faith. Sometimes they see pagoda, they see monastery, they see monks, they see Buddha, they see arahants or whoever they are. This type of faith objects, for those people who have a very strong inclination in faith. Actually, there's a lot of people strong inclination in faith. So these type of things, they do arises in the practice. They become quite strong, quite pleasant, quite peaceful, and then it's so easy for the mind to get attached to those things. They get attached to those things. It get crave for those things. Now, this type, we usually call it the craving or the delight into it. This is not in the sense of greed, like when you're greedy for your food, or loba, in the sense that it's strong loba, that we get attached to delight into the senses, the taste, or the seeing, or the hearing. When these type of delights of the eyes and the ears and all, these are very, call it the gross type of loba. But the one that comes with meditation, there's a kind of loba also, of course, if you go through this one. But it's more like a very soft type of craving. It's a delight into it. You guys just sit there and just feel good. Yeah. So when you feel good, and that time you don't want to meditate, you don't want to note already. That means you get attached to those type of, you begin craving for that type of calmness or peacefulness and so on. There are many yogis get caught into this type of things. They may not be a vipassana yogi. They can be anybody who meditates. And those who don't get it, this type of vipassana upakilesa, is the first one is that the enlightened ones, they don't get it. Doesn't mean that they don't see lights, Doesn't mean they don't. Doesn't mean that they don't have joy or they don't have pleasant feelings. These are not eradicable, eradicatable. We don't eradicate pleasant feelings. Yeah. It's a craving that's eradicated. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that when the joy that comes up or the pleasant feelings that comes up, the enlightened ones don't get attached to those things. That's one thing. Another group of people also, they don't get it. This type of delight into this type of states of mind is those who don't practice. Simple. You don't practice, you don't get it. No. Because this basically is a meditation delight. Yeah. And it doesn't only comes in vipassana, but it also comes in any form of meditation. The moment the mind calms down, if you are given an object, whether it's samatha object or vipassana object, the moment you calm down and then there's no object anymore, and then the mind gets delight into it. Just the calmness on it. So it can be quite, if you are not properly guided, then you can interpret this calmness as something that is you are doing great. You become a great yogi, you become a wonderful yogi, and so on. This type of is where the pride comes in, the mana comes in. So you think that you are better, you think that you are the same, or you think that you're this one. So if again you repeat this thing further and further, then it goes into wrong view. One gets really attached to that wrong view until you cannot able to let go. Other words, you believe that this is jhana or this is nibbana already. Always the tanha, mana, ditthi. Craving, ego or conceit, and then ditthi is view or here wrong view. Many times in the Abhidhamma or even in the suttas, you talk about tanha, mana, ditthi because they are in the sense of they progress. It's a different type of defilement. There are different type of defilement, but each one condition the other one. Tanha condition the next one, the mana condition the wrong view. So this can be quite strong. It can be quite strong with some people. As long as you are guided, you follow the proper teachers, and then they ask you to go back to the meditation object, whether it's a vipassana object or physical object, or vipassana object or the samatha object. As long as you go back to follow those objects, then you are safe in a sense. So every now and then, you will go through this type of things. Every time that you meditate, you feel that everything becomes calm, nothing. Then this time, you just remind yourself, look for objects. Don't let the mind stay still like that. It's still for too long, then it's problem. Sometimes it's still just for a while, then objects come in again, changing. That's fine. That's not a problem. But it's still for too long. Say a few minutes already, nothing there. Still quiet. No movement, no nothing. Then something is wrong already. If cannot, get up and walk, do something else. Don't sit there. Especially this one is during sitting. So if you can able to get into noting it carefully, during this time as the fourth knowledge of arising and passing away, then you begin to see objects arising and passing away, moment after moment, very clearly, moment after moment. It stays there. The moment is arise, is already passed away. Arise, pass away. That means 1 second, there may be one object arises, passes away. Another second arises, passes away already. So if you can sit there for 1 hour, a lot. How many? 36,000. How many? How many thousand? I don't know. But anyway, what is important is that during this time, the third and the fourth the fourth insight especially, it is quite, it's balanced on a, it's balanced. Even if you have pain that comes in, it's not so strong. Dukkha is not so this one, but the aspect of anicca is very clear. The aspect of anicca because of the arising and passing away. This one is the real perception of anicca. The proper perception of anicca, that this type of anicca, this perception of anicca, it will condition for further development for the purpose of enlightenment. Yeah? Whereas the outside there, you think about anicca, you think about impermanence, although you use the word anicca, that is more of a reflective anicca. It's good, it keeps the mind wholesome, it keeps the mind doesn't attach to so many things, but if you only have that, you wouldn't able to take you out of samsara. It makes your samsara happier, but not out. Yeah? It makes your life a bit more happier because you don't get attached to this and that. Yeah? So anyway, the perception of anicca in the various ways that it will shows you the perception of anicca, and then you will see this arising and passing away in many phenomena. Whatever phenomena your mind touch, whatever phenomena your noting mind touch it, then it shows arising and passing away. And sometimes like sometimes I talk about concepts. Concepts are breaking up. Sometimes when you know your stomach, when you begin, when you meditate, where's the stomach? Stomach is here. Where's the pain? The pain at the buttock, left buttock. Where's the another pain? Right buttock, on the right knee. You know what is, you know the position and all that thing. But when it comes to breaking of concept, then when it breaks the concept, slowly break, then when there's pain, you do not know where is it, but you know that there's pain somewhere. Yeah? You know that there is a sensation, but you do not know where exactly the sensation is, because all the sensation or the pain arising and falling, everything just go arising and passing away only. Everything just go arising and passing away, and you do not know where they are. Sometimes the mind also arising and passing away, the body also arising and passing away, and all of them sometimes they overlap to each other. So until they overlap to each other, you put the attention there, you don't even know which one is mind or which one is body, because everything looks the same, arising and passing away. Yeah. So that's something like that, then the knowledge of arising and passing away. Yes. So again, different yogis, although this is how I explain it, but generally what is important is that during that time, the perception of anicca is impacting on that yogi. It's as going inside to the yogi, you begin to seeing this anicca in the sense that you're going to begin to drop what is nicca, what is permanent. The idea of permanent is begin to slowly eroded a little bit here and there because of the right perception, the proper perception of this, and the truth is right in front of you right now. So you're observing these type of things. So it's good during this time, your mind is quite balanced, quite good, and you can able to meditate for a long period of time. Walking, sitting, not so much of you can quite energetic, and the energy is quite balanced. Everything is in quite balanced manner. So it's honeymoon period. But then, when it comes to the later development, like number 5, as I told you, no, not number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is where the perception of dukkha will start coming in. The perception of dukkha that they are mentioned, as I said, the dukkha type here is not just only your buttock pain here, pain. This retreat, somehow or another, it feels like a geriatric ward, you know. You know, it's a geriatric ward, old age one, you know. For old age people, this one. Uh, one yogi will come in this pain. Another yogi will come in buttock pain. Another yogi come in knee pain. Another yogi come in head pain. Another yogi come in this pain, that pain. I feel like I'm like a doctor rather than a. Sometimes I'm supposed to give you meditation instruction, but I start to give you medical advice. Mana boleh like that. Whether my medical advice can work or not, I'm not sure. Yeah. But anyway, this is like that. When it comes to meditation, usually is where you have, when you have, when you are retired, then you have more time. You are retired. Whether you retired early or you retired late, or when you give up your job, considered retired also, like, for a while, at least. Anyway, this type of dukkha that you go through, this pain, body pain, and all that thing, the Buddha call it dukkha. Yeah? Painful type of dukkha, the painful type of dukkha. Yeah? And that we experience those things, but this is not all the dukkha is there, because the dukkha can go in deeper. The next type of dukkha is the dukkha due to change, viparinama dukkha. Yeah? This is the second type of dukkha. And the third type of dukkha is the dukkha due to formations, sankhara dukkha. Yeah? Due to sankhara dukkha. Now, this type of dukkha, now I think I talked about it last year. Last year, when there's no retreat, then I got nothing to do, then I give talk, you know. Last year. Then somewhere in the first noble truth, I explained about the dukkha. And of course, when I explain that type of dukkha, then I explain it through, at least on the vipassana level. Because the nature of dukkha is truly when you see it in the vipassana. You see it in the vipassana. If you, I know we go through a lot of dukkha in life. I'm not undermining all the type of dukkha of the world, the type of, like, say, we see people go through cancer, or go through a certain operation, or certain death of loved ones, or separation of loved ones. This type is big dukkha. It is really strong dukkha, but this is not all the dukkha is there. I don't ever think that just because we experience so much dukkha in the world right now, and this is all the dukkha, and you think that you're wiser. Yeah, you're a little bit wiser. Yes, but not enough to get you out of samsara yet. Yeah, not enough to get you out of samsara. So, is that the other two dukkha that we need to see, especially the dukkha due to formations. Viparinama dukkha here is dukkha that arises due to change. Yes, it is still unpleasant. Not that it's pleasant, but this time it does not due to your buttock pain, knee pain, head pain, there pain, here pain. No, it's not that already. It's the pain that is changing, the phenomena that is changing. That the rising and falling, or the arising and passing away, or whichever phenomena, sitting, touching, or whatever, that is keep on changing. Changing and changing and changing until, you look at it also, you get bored. You sit down and rising, falling, moving, moving. What else is there that is moving? You still can note, not to say you cannot note, but you keep on the same thing all over again. And yes, that's an aspect of dukkha actually. Yeah, and one aspect of dukkha. But when it comes into the deeper aspect, then the dukkha here, it's, let me give you another one. Now here, as I said, when the type of dukkha or viparinama dukkha that comes in, it comes in as change. And a lot of things, like for example, you notice something that is pleasant, let's say, you notice it very pleasant, everything changing nicely. And after that, you keep on noticing, you feel that it is a bit, it's keep on changing, and it goes into neutral, or it goes to a bit unpleasant. Not to say pain, but uncomfortable, unpleasant. Then when you look at these things repeatedly again and again, then there is a sense of like, dukkha lah, dukkha. But, but when it comes to the vipassana type of dukkha, yeah, the dukkha due to formations, this one is even more deeper. That is connected to the mind and bodily processes. Sankhara dukkha, the word sankhara here, mental and physical processes, what you are noting over here. That means that you see this arising and passing away in so many ways. Then that arising and passing away becomes like difficult to bear. And the difficulty to bear, it comes in many forms. It comes in many forms. Many forms, many patterns. And again, during this time, 5, 6, 7, 8, around that time, a lot of your time, your faculties get very kacau a little bit. Like even sometimes, you wouldn't even to sit for 1 hour. Even before that, you can able to go through very well and all that. But this time, sometimes the dukkha that comes in is so unbearable. It's not painful, buttock pain, it's just unbearable, the whole thing. And you can't even sit 1 hour. Or you sit there, you start to a lot of fidgeting. You want to move a little bit, you want to move there a little bit, you want to slightly move here, there. So the body fidget because of the unpleasantness that comes with the arising and passing away. Now, here when that time it comes in, for example, like fearfulness. If the fearfulness here is not a sense of like, not in a sense of like you fear the ghost, you fear that thing. That type of fear, it's unwholesome mental fear. But the type of knowledge of fearfulness or awareness of fearfulness, they call it, it's the nature that when you see this arising and passing away again and again, and also like connected to number 5, that everything that is going into breaking up, everything is going into dissolution, like you're noting as if like it's keep on breaking, the object is keep on breaking. You think that your meditation is going somewhere wrongly. And then with that, sometimes some yogis felt that like, they keep on meditating, then it doesn't feel like there is a solid ground for you to hold on anymore. Meaning that, like that time when you sit down, rising, falling, Uber, yeah, very fast, come in, sitting, touching, everything God, everything fine, wonderful, you feel good, that time you come into reporting also, you feel confident, you feel that you have something to report. But then here, sometimes in the knowledge of fearfulness or danger here, you find sometimes the dukkha that comes in as everything is breaking up, and then like as if like you have nothing to report. I don't know how to report. Everything is just breaking. I not everything gone again. I not here is gone, as if That means you got nothing for you to hold on anymore. Huh? You try to note sitting and touching, also the same thing. You try to note the mind, you try to note the buttock, you try to note the rising, falling. Nothing is there. So, in other words, there's nothing for you to hold on anymore. So, you feel that a sense of something wrong with your practice. Something something is not right with your practice. But actually, you are doing right because that time your mindfulness is still very alert. It's still very clear. Actually, it's still balanced inside there. It's because of that area of dukkha that we cannot feel good. You're still noticing actually. It's just that when you come out of it, or after that later part, your mind gets very unstable. Yeah? And sometimes also like yogis, they experience like um maybe sometimes they experience that the object that normally that like rising and falling, in breath, out breath, touching, sensation and all that, those objects that you notice it's neutral to you, like rising and falling, right now you notice it's neither unpleasant nor it's pleasant, it's just neutral, it's just going clearly. But later on, when you come to this area like 5, 6, 7, 8 there, like sometimes it becomes like very unpleasant, truly unpleasant in the sense that it may squeeze you, it may twist you inside there, it may be pull you here and there, it may the as I said, it just make your life miserable. No, it's just make your life miserable. There's a knowledge of misery. A knowledge of danger, a knowledge of misery, make your life miserable, make your life very difficult. Every time you sit down, like it's not in the past anymore, like it's pleasant, it's nice, it's going through everything. You thought that time everything is sure to soon already. You thought you quake kwan, at that time like knowledge of arising and passing away. You may think that things are going to go smoothly because everything is balanced right now. Ha! Then you go through in a deeper development. That is where the dukkha comes in. Now, this type of dukkha, it comes in so many ways. So many ways, sometimes also I cannot even able to explain everything. But when a yogi goes through it, and I explain a few things, of course, I already know agak-agak where they are. But this time, yogis may felt that their confidence, their meditation confidence is all shaken up. It's going to test you. And here is where some teacher says is your gulong tika. You pack your bag and go back on this stage over here. Because it's really unpleasant for some yogis. Some yogis can bear it up much better and they pass through. Because here the aspect over here right now is that to see so many various ways of dukkha due to formations. And as I said, it really tests your confidence, it tests your resolve, your determination, whether you can go through these things or not. Some yogis have to go through this quite a lot. Some yogis go through this quite short. Why? What is the opposite of dukkha? Gao lo, huh? Yeah, sukha. Huh? And sukha due to what? What makes you happy out there? Jia, for example, makan makes you happy. Comfort makes you happy. Entertainment, eyes, like hearing everything makes you happy. And the more that you attach to the worldly things, that you look for all kinds of happiness and joy in the worldly things, then it needs more dukkha to change your perception. You know what I mean? It's so strong. If not, now you think you see a little bit of dukkha, you can change your perception of your greed and all your desire and so on. So, so, so some yogis, you may go through those type stronger, longer, more intense, so that the idea of sukha, the perception of sukha is getting lesser and lesser. Then only you begin to able to embrace the dukkha, you can able to see the true nature of dukkha, then slowly, slowly you're going to pass through. Go back and enjoy. Chang, go back and enjoy. Stay wherever and enjoy until then you come back. Oh, Bante, how come cannot improve one? Not my fault. Not the teacher's fault. Don't think that the teacher beyong, you know. Don't think that the teacher no good. It's you yourself. Finally, it's all our attachments. So here, when we take note of this type of dukkha, as I said, you must be brave enough, you must be determined enough to notice however it comes in. Even every time you sit down, it's going to twist and turn and twist your stomach until like your bowels is going to come inside out, you know. Passing cut everything. And you got to stay there. And you got to keep noting. For some yogis, their experience is like their stomach or their chest is keep twisting and twisting. You thought that it's going to the maximum, you note some more, it twists some more. You note some more, it twists until. And the moment that you stop noting, then it goes back to nothing. It just go back to normal. Nothing. You feel okay when you're not. There's nothing with it. There's nothing wrong with you. And the moment you sit down again, your mindfulness, everything goes into concentrated, it goes into equilibrium, all the phenomena comes in again. And you're going to come in and you're going to show you the difficulty of it. So you got to note them through. You cannot like, you don't want them. You look for other object. Say, for example, other object is going to show you the same phenomena also. You think you can have a relief. Oh, the pain I don't want to see. I want to see and see the sitting, touching, see whether can relieve or not. You pay attention to sitting, touching also is doing the same thing also. So you cannot run away because the perception of dukkha is going to have overall in all forms, in all formation. Yeah. So this is to like a trailer, you know, you watch movie. Before the movie comes in and they'll tell you a little bit what's going to happen. Yeah. So my job is something like that. Akan datang. What is going to go, you're going to go through. And this is, I mean, it's good that at least we know generally, perhaps we got to go through. Other words, when the objects gets difficult, when you're noting objects get difficult, get miserable, get as if like you have no determination, you're going to kill off, then you put in the effort. You keep going and going and going. This is what we call the perception of dukkha. Yeah? So it comes in as like fearfulness. It comes in a miserable. It comes in a something you feel like vomiting. Something you feel like you're really unable to sit. You cannot even pass through that 1 hour. Make your whole sitting or even walking miserable. Yeah. Then you see these type of things until like you are disenchanted of it. Like you totally like 搞了啦, you know. You bye bye, you meditate and then you please no more, please. Then you get so difficult and you keep noting all those type of things until you get so disenchanted with all the formations, all the sankhara, anything that arising and passing away that you truly want to get out of it. Then when you get out of it, that time, how you want to get out? You want to get out to escape this dukkha. That means there's a genuine, this time, and there's a genuine a genuine resolve for enlightenment. Because you know that if you're going to go through this all over again in samsara, you're going to go through again and again. So it's never going to end. So that time, the resolve for deliverance, and that's what it say lah. A desire for deliverance, resolve for deliverance, the resolve for liberation, resolve for nibbana becomes very genuine. Becomes very genuine. You know, here, like say for example, you meditate here, pain there. I want nibbana, but you go back, you still enjoy. No, nibbana can wait that one. But this time is different. This time is different. This time the resolve is there because you see a lot of difficulty. You know, so formation is still there. That all arising and passing away is still there. Yeah, yeah. So the resolve of deliverance, you want to get out of this samsara. Yeah, get out of this dukkha because it's so strong. Then when it comes into the number 10, number 10 here, knowledge of reflection or reobservation. What does it reobserve? It reobserve anicca, dukkha, anatta again. All the three anicca, dukkha, anatta. Now here when it reobserve again, then this time because of the mind is super clear, very strong, then also the dukkha also is tremendously powerful this time. You think that earlier on is powerful, this one lagi jialat. Even at times, you may go to walk, sit, everything. The moment that you concentrate your noting mind on it, and you get ready for that walking, get ready for the sitting. The moment you get ready for it, the dukkha comes in already. And yet at the dukkha comes in, you see everything is arising, passing away, arising and passing away. And many times you see that this is not yours, this is not mine, and then it mix up again with dukkha, and mix with this and that until it becomes again very difficult to bear. So it's difficult to bear this time. Yeah? But this is where your equanimity is going to be very important, to keep the mind as steady as possible. To keep the mind as steady as possible. Your equanimity will be good because it's going to go to the next one, the 11th one, the equanimity towards information. So other words, while you are going through all the dukkha and all that thing, you steady your mind, you resolve the mind, you keep it going. And here don't, of course, it gets difficult in the beginning, but bear up with it. Keep bearing up with it. The objects will be not easy for us to go through, but keep your mind steady. Your self-doubt, your hindrances, especially the doubting, is going to come in. You think that you are doing wrong. You think that you are not going to, you think that you want to give up. You think that you give you all kinds of hindrances, all kinds of thoughts, which is a different shades of self-doubt. It make you want to feel like vomit. You feel like you don't want to meditate. It makes your life so miserable, but you stay there. You keep the mind as balanced as possible. Yeah? This is where the equanimity is really important. Yeah? You got to keep the mind as steady as possible. Now, when you're able to see these things and you, let's say you mature from noticing this dukkha and all that thing, then the mind matures into the equanimity of formations. Now, equanimity of formation here is actually the same as what you see in the number 10 also. But this time, your mind is not affected by all kinds of dukkha. Previously, that no matter how it's going to twist you, No matter how it's going to break up, no matter how it's going to, whatever that's going to happen in the mind or bodily processes, this time the mind can fully take it all in. Without, ayo, can or not, without this and not, or so much dukkha, you feel like you want to this one and all that thing. The mind does not affected by all these type of things. That means the 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 difficulty is still there. You still feel the unpleasant feelings there, but the mind does not shift anymore. The mind stays in the middle. Even if that time there are pleasant feelings that comes up, say for example like your past experience uh, of the thoughts that arises, they give you so much joy. This time all this type of joy and all that thing goes into equanimity. It cannot arise as any form of joy or any form of fear or any form of anything. Uh, Even mosquito bite you also. Yeah, still got feeling, but no reaction. The mind doesn't react to it. It's no matter how difficult it is, how difficult, whichever type of dukkha that comes in, whether it's sankhara dukkha or dukkha or leg pain, everything changing also pain, the mind is not affected at all. That means that time, the mind fully alert of whatever that is going on. Even thoughts that come in, whatever people do anything to you, whatever, the mind is very steady. Even sometimes you sit, the lightning comes in and the thunder comes in, no feeling. Don't I got, but you don't react to whole thing. Everything, the mind is very steady. And this time also, it's also interesting because of that equanimity, a very strong equanimity. The equanimity is actually begins like in the forefront. So until there, that time, you're walking and you're sitting, everything is always in the balance. Always in the balance. That time is really like the effortless effort already that time. Truly effortless effort because you wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, you can start the car already and sekali can go very fast. Like you all wake up in the 4 o'clock in the morning, cannot wait until afternoon, then things are clear. This one, no. Equanimity is the moment you start. And you can able to do mindful in the walking, in the sitting, in the daily activities for a long period of time throughout the whole day after day after day. And you don't feel imbalance. You don't feel not enough energy. You don't feel overexerting. It's quite interesting also. Yeah. So that time is you can able to the equanimity come in such a strong manner that it comes to the forefront. That's why it called equanimity towards formation. So that equanimity, it brings every concentration, all the factors of enlightenment to come to that. Uh, then with that thing, if that equanimity of formations getting matured, that is where, as I said, you're knocking on the door of nibbana already. Now, if this equanimity of formation cannot get mature, then you have got to repeat it again and again. And this time, I have no answer for you. Why Bante still cannot get enlightened yet? No answer. But anyway, at this equanimity of formations, now let's say, let's say, in the text, in the Visuddhimagga, it mentioned that there are some monks who meditate until equanimity of formation, right until the doorstep of Nibbana. But he cannot get enlightenment, even for Sotapanna also. But he's very mindful yogi, mindful bhikkhu, and so on. Yeah? So because he make adhitthana, he makes a determination that he wants to meet with the future Buddha, the Metteyya Buddha, because he wants to meet with the Metteyya Buddha, and he put the determination there already, then the enlightenment stops. Enlightenment doesn't go through. He comes until equanimity of formations. The meditation is so good, but you just cannot cross over. So some of us, for example, we may make certain adhitthana, and we already like, I want this thing. Then certain adhitthana can block you from getting into enlightenment. And sometimes it's can connected with our view. Say, for example, you want to become Buddha. Let's say you want to do that. If you want to, then if you determine it very strongly, your enlightenment will not go any, you will not come to any enlightenment, but you will just go on with this equanimity of formation only. So sometimes there are people who wants to meet with some Buddha or future Buddha. So in the past, they already practiced. They practice until like equanimity of formation, very powerfully. And it keeps there for life after life. It goes through life after life, life after life. And then when it comes into the future Buddha, let's say it comes to the Gautama Buddha, when it meets with the Gautama Buddha, all you need that the Gautama Buddha give a few short sermon, sit there for a short while, enlighten now. That's what happened in the text. That's what happened in the text. You think they don't do anything? Just sit there or listen to the Buddha's talk and then suddenly enlighten? No, there's no sudden enlightenment. It's already they've done so many things and they will stop until equanimity of formation. And when they stop until there, in the future, meet with the Buddha again, listen to the Dhamma again, the Buddha, because as I said, you read in the sutta, the Buddha can know how far you are already. All your faculties, whether it's ripened or not, and so on, just give you the right talk. You make you sit there and bring up all your concentration up, everything into its full equanimity again. From there on, you notice a few things, 搞了 enlightenment. That's why it's so fast. That's why it's so big. Can be quite a lot of people like that. I mean, we read in the suttas, those people who able to do that. But actually, it's although we read in the suttas that there are many people like that, but comparatively in the samsara, they are just a very negligible, this type of people. Most of us, we cannot do that. Most of us, we cannot do that. So some people have that aspiration, I'm not sure what you want. Doesn't matter if you want to meet with the future Buddha, of course you have to go through the suffering of samsara, You still have to go through the suffering of samsara, but your faculties comes into maturity already at that equanimity of formation. Now, let's say this equanimity of formation, that your mind is all in the tip-top condition right now, fully balanced, fully alert, fully clear, and the equanimity of formations comes into maturity. Now it comes into maturity. That means the arising and passing away, what you notice in the equanimity of formations there, certain times it will speed up. It will speed up. When it speeds up, you see the arising and passing away in such a fast manner that when you pay attention to it, you see whether it is anicca, or whether it is dukkha, or whether it is anatta. Anicca, dukkha, or anatta. You see this arising and passing away in a fast manner. So whichever that you see, it all depends on your personality or your inclination of your personality. So this is where they call it the triple gateway of liberation. Yeah, we don't to explain too much of that. Just to give you an idea, the triple gateway of liberation. So it's right until the equanimity, the maturity of equanimity of formation before you get into enlightenment process. You see the changes and how does the arising and passing away looks to you. How do you perceive the thing? Yeah. Now, when it happens, and then let's say you see it, then the process of enlightenment will come in. The process of enlightenment comes in, it comes in as a stream of consciousness only. A few consciousness, maybe 7, 8 consciousness, I think so. I forgot how many It's like a stream of consciousness arising and passing away. At the last two is the Magga and Phala, knowledge of fruit, knowledge of path and fruition. Uh, Now, in that enlightenment process, it is again here knowledge of adaptation and knowledge of change of lineage here. It's only single consciousness only. It's just only a single consciousness. Change of lineage also a single consciousness. Path also is a single consciousness. Fruition maybe two consciousness only, according to Abhidhamma. It's a very short process only. And that's it. You're enlightened now. But that is the first time, as I said. That is the first time. Very fast, you go through it. But this time, when you go through this type of things, the state of mind is very different. It's no more Kanika Samadhi anymore. It's Appana Samadhi already this time. It's absorption concentration because it absorbs into Nibbana. Right? It absorbs into Nibbana. The path and friction are the two consciousness that takes Nibbana as an object. So when it takes Nibbana as an object, that means you drop into absorption. It's an absorption consciousness. It's no more Kanika Samadhi. But after that, just for a moment, a while, then you come out of it. You come out of it, it comes back to Kanika Samadhi again. Just for a short while, for the first time. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to explain over here is that the equanimity, don't ever underestimate this equanimity. This equanimity, when it's fully mature, it goes right at the doorstep of Nibbana. Then maturity of that into enlightenment, you pass through, also the mind is truly stable, is truly in a very concentrated manner, very concentrated, very stable manner. So don't underestimate this equanimity. It goes very deep. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more on this type of things, on equanimity. So we'll stop here for tonight. Share merits. Idang me bawanang Nibbanasa Pachayo Hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.